Ruffy and the Riverside is the debut project from indie developer Zockrates Laboratories. The game offers a charming and imaginative take on the platformer genre with its unique gameplay mechanics, which includes the ability to swap the elements of the world around you. What begins as a lighthearted quest quickly unfolds into a sprawling adventure filled with puzzles, personality, and customization, all wrapped up in a beautifully hand-drawn world. Ruffy and the Riverside begins by introducing the titular Ruffy, who, alongside his best friend Pip, a talking bee with plenty of sass, and his mentor Sir Edler, a grumpy old mole, accidentally summons an evil cube overlord named Grawl. The trio were merely examining a strange crystal known as the Marble, an object with the power to change the elements around it, and that's when things took a turn. Now unleashed, Grawl is on a mission to absorb every marble in existence and destroy Riverside entirely. To stop him, Ruffy and Pip must travel across Riverside to collect 6 sacred letters that power the world's core. Along the way, they'll need to use the mysterious swap ability to manipulate their environment, solve puzzles, and save the land that they call home. Ruffy's swap ability lies in the heart of the experience. With the shoulder button action, you can scan an element, whether it's wood, metal, water, or even lava, and temporarily store it for about a minute. You can then paste the element onto certain objects to alter their properties. For example, changing a group of metal crates into wooden ones allows you to float across water, letting you reach otherwise inaccessible areas. Or maybe you'll encounter a talking sun who requires it to be turned into the moon just for a change of pace. By holding the shoulder buttons, you can then paste multiple scanned objects all at once. This does come in handy when dealing with larger puzzles or time challenges that require quick thinking. As much as I enjoyed the swapping mechanic, there were moments when it wasn't clear what I was supposed to do next. The game occasionally lacks solid hints like this, leaving you stuck in certain areas until you stumble upon the solution, either by piecing together a vague clue or through sheer trial and error. Beyond the swap system, Ruffy comes equipped with some familiar platforming tools. With Pip's help, pressing X mid-air allows Ruffy to glide. Square triggers a punch, while holding it down activates a charge attack that hits multiple enemies. Just make sure Ruffy flashes briefly to indicate it's ready, otherwise the move won't work. Early in the game, you're able to unlock red and blue capes by collecting enough coins. These can then be taken to Gaga, who is a bear shopkeeper that offers randomized cape add-ons through his cape roulette. Bonuses include self-healing and increased stamina. It's a fun system that rewards exploration and coin collecting while adding a touch of unpredictability to your loadout. Another helpful character who you'll meet is the Heartobot, who can permanently increase your health starting at 3 hearts or offer temporarily hearts. That said, I rarely found the temporary ones useful. They actually disappear when entering new areas, and the base heart count is already generous enough for most of the game. Ruffy is also able to sprint for a short period before his stamina runs out. However, this meter does refill quickly, especially when grabbing coins. Sometimes it felt like I was barely running out of stamina at all thanks to how many coins are scattered around Riverside. And on that note, Riverside is a lively, pixelated world with hand-drawn characters and interactive side quests. The NPCs around town don't feel like filler, as they're scattered across the overworld with genuine tasks and quirky personalities. It made the world feel full of life, even with Grawl's threat hanging overhead. It's here that you'll meet characters like Vina, the caretaker of the Atoi, these funny little creatures who are scattered across Riverside after Grawl appeared. She asks Ruffy to track down all 30 of them, giving you more to look for while you're exploring. Then there's the Fish Gang, a group of aquatic troublemakers who send you off to find and defeat sharks hiding in various ponds. Sometimes you'll stumble across surreal, chalk-like 2D worlds that hide butterflies. These zones act like puzzle gauntlets. One hit from an enemy will kick you out, and you'll need to re-enter after editing the environment to ensure safe passage. It's a clever use of the swap ability in a more abstract setting. Collecting butterflies also ties into the side quest involving Quintus, a butterfly-loving fox who shares trivia about your discoveries and gives you coins as a reward. Other quests include dot puzzles where you arrange nodes into the correct pattern, tile-swapping image challenges, and races that involve rolling hay bales. Yes, hay bales. Surprisingly, these races actively encourage cheating. You can use the swap powers to drop obstacles in front of other racers. After getting blown flown past the engine-powered bells a few too many times, I had no problem returning the favor and securing first place, through whatever means possible. As you explore, you'll solve picture puzzles that reward you with pattern stones. Collecting these unlocks new elements you can modify in the game's drawing board menu. Want a blood red orange or glowing purple sand? Just go for it. The game lets you tweak Riverside's environment to the heart's content. If you go too far and turn the world into a nightmare, don't worry, you can toggle these edits on and off at any time, which lets you reset or rework your creations whenever inspiration strikes. The biggest issue I encountered during my journey was the game's frequent reliance on fetch quests. Many main story tasks involve trekking long distances to complete a single objective, only to backtrack it again. Thankfully, the sprint mechanic and hay bells help ease the pain later in the game, but in the early hours, it can feel like a bit of a slog, especially when time limits are involved. Another minor annoyance is the constant character voice clips. While Ruffy and Pip sound cute at first, the repeated grunts, buzzes, and remarks during action like climbing, punching, or jumping start to wear a little thin. Fortunately, you can lower their volumes in the settings. Despite these rough patches, the game consistently impressed me with its variety. Each world is themed after different elements like jungles or icy plains and reminds me of old school platformers that I grew up playing. The nostalgic charm paired with the creative mechanics made it easy to stay engaged. The soundtrack is another standout. Upbeat and catchy, I often found myself humming the tunes after putting the controller down. In the early game, you'll come across Crash Island, which has an especially infectious tune. Ruffy and the Riverside does have its fair share of glitches and moments of frustration, but it's still a creative and heartfelt platformer packed with charm. The swap mechanic brings new life to puzzle solving, while the world editing tool offers a surprising amount of freedom for a game in this genre. Whether you want to enhance Riverside's cuteness or twist it into something a bit more chaotic, Ruffy gives you the tools to make the world your own. And for players who love getting lost in side quests, vibrant characters, and clever exploration, there's plenty to enjoy in this 3D platformer. Noisy Pixel is giving Ruffy and the Riverside an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.